Hello YouTube, Mayel here. Today I would like to talk about my narcissist royal highness. In my relationship with my narcissist, it's been very much a case of him putting himself in every single time without me realizing it, in a higher position, well above me. It's never been an equal relationship or partner. Well, no, there's never even been a partnership. It's been a very unequal relationship. He would do things to me, and while I was always busy rationalizing what he was doing, what I was seeing, making excuses, and for him, trying to be understanding, trying to be respectful of him as a person, trying to prove to him that, look, I am a good person, look, I am a good fiancée to you, look, I'm a good wife, I respect you and your space, and I don't nag, I'm not bitchy, I'm not this, I'm very good for you. He was actually taking advantage of me. He basically, by then he had started the process of grooming me into accepting the unacceptable. While I was doing all of those things, he was hard at work creating a moat around himself, creating barriers, creating obstacles, basically all around himself. And that was calculated, and it was designed so that in order for me to reach his island or his castle, I would literally have to put myself in a boat kind of thing, take a canoe, a one-place canoe kind of thing, and I'll have to row. I think that's row. I'll have to paddle extremely hard. Keep rowing and rowing to go from my shore to his shore to get to him. And then after that, I'll have to climb the little mountain, the little hill, to reach his castle. And once at the castle, I'll have to really do all sorts of things to get his attention. And sometimes it'll take weeks, sometimes it'll take months, sometimes it'll even take years to get his attention. So that the drawbridge will actually come down. So for me to get inside the castle, and once inside the castle, well, I have to wait even longer to get an audience with His Highness. And eventually I'll get lucky and I'll get that audience, and with a little bit of an air and a flair, he'll just go, well, why don't you come back next year? And it's always been like that. And you would think that when I'm saying this meant that, I would seek that audience with them for something that I wanted. You will be surprised to find that most of those the work that I had to do to try to get his attention and his opinion and his participation was actually even to benefit him. Sometimes it had to do with him. I'll give you an example. For instance, many years ago, we were living in a different country, and I wanted to be nice. It's not even a case of, let me think I'm going to be nice today. It wasn't like that. It was more a case of, it's part of being a family, being a nurturer, and wanting everybody around, and knowing that will please the other party. So why not, extend myself and make that happen? And with his own family, his own mother and father, I had thought of actually inviting them over to come and join us in a different country, so that we could spend Christmas together. And from the moment I mentioned it, and it took months It wasn't a process of just a few weeks. No, it took months for me to nag, because I had to nag. Because I started first, I came up with the idea. Then I had to ask again, to broach the subject again, because I got no response. There was no feedback. There was no discussion. There was nothing. So I had to broach the subject several times, which to other people will be nagging, but what else was I supposed to do? And then I'll have to find a way to manipulate or talk about the subject, or I just had to try so many different ways, and it took months. And that was his own family. And when it happened, when eventually he agreed to let them come over, well, guess what? It took the credit for it. It took the entire thing. I mean, I wasn't even mentioned. I wasn't thanked. Obviously his parents were, they were delighted, and all the things went to him. They did not know he could not give a bleep, or that he didn't even care, and it wasn't his idea. They didn't know that. And to me, it was just a victory, because they came, and that's all I cared about. I was going to compete, or I was going to demand. I was going to say, hey, it was my idea. How come you didn't mention, or go to the family and to the parents and say, hey, by the way, that was my idea, and look what your son did. It didn't even broach my mind. I mean, you have to be kind of petty for that. To do that, I would think, don't you think? So there again is another example of how my husband literally being with a narcissist, how for me, looking back now, it looks like they really are in that pedestal. They put themselves in that situation so high above you that you constantly have to work hard for them. I mean, they can run you. They literally are you're a horse. You're in a race to nowhere, and you are the horse with maybe a little invisible carrot stick in front. Whatever that carrot is, that probably you yourself even attached to your ear and put it in front of yourself, and you're chasing it.